All right, Anthony on Air podcast back for another episode. Some huge news. Prince Andrew is going to trial. Plus, the juror in the Ghislaine Maxwell trial is asking for his questionnaire. CNN ratings are plummeting right now. Do we have a Hillary Clinton comeback?
What?
Are we looking at a Biden-Cheney ticket in
What?
2024? Donald Trump calls out Ron DeSantis.
This guy
The
just can't.
world.
I feel like every week he just can't help shoot himself in the foot. But go ahead.
Speaking of shoot, Machine Gun Kelly is engaged to Megan Fox. Kodak Black goes to a Panthers game.
Yeah, he does.
And I got the vid. I don't know why there's a question mark on that. I do have.
You definitely have the vid. Hence, I don't know if I can catch it through the microphone, through the headset.
Well, you're taking the proper precautions.
All right, that's good.
We're not 6 feet apart digitally right now. So.
Not digitally, no.
No. Frankie C is here. How are you doing, my friend?
Way better than you. You all right there? How's it?
Yeah. We'll get into how I feel. Let's go before I regret this.
All right. We don't have to do this today.
I know. I don't know what I'm doing here. Well, because I'll tell you why. Because the decision got handed down this morning from Judge Lewis Kaplan in Manhattan, that the Prince Andrew trial is going to happen. He's going to trial. It was a 46-page decision. That is a lot to read with 102 temperature, my friend. Let me tell you.
Yeah. You could have sent half of that to me.
I should have.
I wouldn't have read it, but you could have sent it.
You could have been like, Frank's report would have been like, oh, it's bad. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
back to you.
Basically, he's going to trial, is what it says. It's 23 of my pages. So it says he's going to trial. I don't know what else to tell you.
Yeah. So he's going to trial. 46 pages. So the judge said that the $500,000 settlement that Epstein had with Jeffrey is too ambiguous to cover Andrew, saying that the agreement was mainly to protect Epstein. Of course, Andrew was arguing that deal also protected him as well. It did not. Judge Kaplan also dismissed the prince's meritless suggestion that the accuser's complaint needed to be more definitive. Kaplan said that Mr. Free's complaint is neither unintelligible nor vague or ambiguous. They are going to schedule the trial for later this year. I don't have an exact date. I feel like I thought I saw something, but now I'm not sure, and I don't feel good enough to go back. We'll obviously pinpoint the date, but later.
It's going to happen later. You don't have to. You don't have to. It's not tomorrow. All right.
Yeah.
It's. We'll let you know.
We'll let you know.
When Anthony doesn't have the vid, we'll let you know.
Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you're subscribed on Facebook or YouTube or Spotify.
I could have looked this stuff up for you, but Anthony doesn't let me know what's going on until just before we hit the air. He goes, "These are the topics." Sometimes I didn't even do that. Like today, for example.
We didn't do that today.
I didn't know what the topics were until you guys found out.
In his ruling, Kaplan noted how Jeffrey's lawsuit alleges Andrew engaged in acts with her without her consent, knowing her age and knowing she was a sex trafficking victim before being forced to engage in those acts. Jeffrey alleged that Andrew, Epstein, and Maxwell compelled her to engage in these acts by express or implied threat, and that she feared death or physical injury.
It's going to be a hell of a trial.
It is.
Like I feel like it's going to be, what's the word? Like monumental or historical, because we're bringing over someone from another, a royal from another country, and we're trying them in an American court.
Name another time that's happened. I mean,
I cannot do that.
I can't remember, and let alone from practically our greatest ally. I mean, the relations between these two countries since we busted out from under their control has been
which is pretty amazing when you think about that. We fought the war against them, won our freedom from Britain, and now we're like best friends.
I mean, it didn't happen immediately, but it did happen over the course of time.
Yeah.
They're kind of our are dudes in the region. There are dudes.
There are dudes.
Where there are dudes here, there are dudes there.
Right.
So, the alleged abuse happened in Maxwell's London home as well as Epstein's private island, his New York mansion. The latter accusation justifying the Manhattan complaint, according to Judge Kaplan. However, she never accused the prince of abusing her in Florida, where the abuse central to her recently unsealed deal with Epstein took place. Kaplan noted that there is no suggestion in the Florida case that Andrew was himself engaged in trafficking. The wording of the then secret deal had specifically forbidden Epstein from passing it to third parties to be able to use it, the ruling noted. Kaplan also surmised that Epstein was purely out to protect himself from the future lawsuits with the $500,000 payout, which helped him skate further criminal prosecution. Epstein likely wanted to gain as much protection for himself, the note, the 46-page summary said, and to do so for an acceptable price. Whatever the pedophile's intentions were, his agreement is far from a model of clear and precise drafting. So basically, the agreement not enough to not have a trial, but Kaplan did say that if Andrew's lawyers wanted to use it in the trial, that they could. Okay. So it is permissible. Submissible?
Wait, the agreement is?
Yeah.
But I thought it didn't apply to Andrew. Why would they be able to use it?
They can use it. If they can use it as evidence if they want, because they can present it as part of their case. It wasn't enough
why
to
would
not
he be part of this? Yeah.
Right. It wasn't enough to not let him go to trial, but they're saying Kaplan is saying if you want to use it, you can use it in the trial. He also dismissed Andrew's claim that the deal must clear him, that it also protected. Kaplan also dismissed Andrew's claim that the deal must clear him because it had also protected Alan Dershowitz from similar allegations against Giuffre. Dershowitz was Epstein's attorney in Florida, making him more clearly connected, and Andrew was not necessarily correct to say it covered him anyway, according to Kaplan. Dershowitz always denies the allegations. The judge also staunchly defended Giuffre's right to file the lawsuit using New York's Child Victims Act, which allowed historic allegations of abuse still to be brought to court. Similar claims that it is unconstitutional have been rejected by every New York state and federal court to have encountered this particular issue, and it has been rejected repeatedly for good reason, Kaplan wrote in his opinion. No surprise, Buckingham Palace did not comment on the ongoing legal matter.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so. I wonder what happens if he's found guilty. I mean, does he serve his time in American prison, or?
Yep.
He just stays here. We lock him up here.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they can ask to extradite him, but usually you ask to extradite somebody to sit for trial. I don't know if you could get them after the fact to put them in your prisons. I
guess as long as he's in prison, I guess it doesn't matter where he's.
But when you think about it, I mean, this guy is such a colossal fuck up.
Yeah.
For lack of a better term. Like,
piece of
not only did this stuff allegedly happen, right? But then he did that horrific interview where he was like, well, I've never met that girl. And then the interviewer was like, well, what about this picture of you, like, with your arm around her? And then the whole sweating thing, and that he doesn't sweat and all that bullshit. And then all these opportunities to just settle the case with her. You know what I mean? So that this wouldn't go to court. I mean, he's made every poor decision that you could possibly make in his circumstance. And the royal family is like, they're supposedly just fucking beside themselves with him.
I would imagine.
This is a huge embarrassment to them.
Yeah. I can't imagine, like, he would go to prison. I mean, I can't imagine he'd go to like a regular penitentiary. You know, he'd have to be, I mean, since he's royal family, does that get, I don't know if he gets any kind of special.
Well, I mean, it's interesting because you have to treat this very delicately. Like, he has to, he has to be brought to justice if he is, and if he's found guilty. But then you also have two nations' relationship That, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I don't think you can have him just going to Gen Pop at the local federal penitentiary.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what they do with him.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just the date.
I think he gets locked up back home. I think that's what happens.
I don't even know
if it comes to it.
I'll have to ask our legal representatives.
Yeah.
See if that's even a possibility.
If I could track him down.
Yeah. Let me know if you run into one of them one of these days.
Sure.
It'd be great if they can give us an opinion here. No, but we'll find out. I mean, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, this is the very beginnings of this trial to come.
Yeah, and I mean, the other thing too is what if he just doesn't show up? Like, what if he just says no?
That's a good question. Could he? Yeah,
he could do it. He could just be like, I'm not going. And then what are we going to do? Like, and then basically, so it would come down to, again, a foreign diplomatic situation where the United States has to reach out to England and say,
like, you got to hand him over.
Can you hand him over, please?
What if they say no?
What if they say no? What if the Queen just says, yeah, no, I'm not doing that? These aren't our laws. These are your laws.
I think they're their laws, too.
Well, I mean, they're their laws, too, but maybe they'll say that this is your court, not our court.
I don't know. I don't know. It's touchy. I mean, I feel like wars have been fought over less.
I mean, the United States is not sending an aircraft carrier over to fucking London.
No, it's not going to come to that. I can't imagine it coming to that. I feel like worst case, he'll probably have to virtual court. Like, he'll be home or he'll be in his lawyer's thing and they'll pipe it in or something. Do you think he physically come here?
I think he physically has to come here. I disagree with that. He's physically. I mean, unless we're still in this goddamn COVID situation.
Yeah, you seem to be enjoying
it. Yeah, sorry. I'm gonna have to turn my. I can't have people watching me blow my nose on the fucking internet. That'll never go away.
I hate to be that microphone right now.
Can you see how sweaty I am right now? Because I feel.
Your head is a little shiny. That's about it.
All right. Jumpstart Coffee Company. Before we get to Ghislaine Maxwell and the jury questionnaire, do you want to do the Jumpstart Coffee read, Frank? That'd be immensely helpful.
Why, you're not feeling up to it? Okay. Well, go for it. Jumpstart Coffee Company, best coffee. It tastes amazing, and they've got these great packs of coffee. Right now, my favorite is the dark roast blend. I love this. The character notes here: big body, dark chocolate, smoke, fresh roasted coffee. It's amazing. You click on the link below. You use the code AOA15. Boom, 15% right off. And 50% of their profits goes right to the Navy SEAL Foundation, which is amazing. That's half of what they make. It goes to. It's incredible. It goes to the vets. That's a huge thing. It's an American company helping out our vets and giving you a great product in return. I mean, many different flavors. They also have the subscribe and save. So every month you can get it delivered to your house, 1 bag, 2 bags, however many you want. You don't have to think about it. It just shows up at your door every month, and you're all set for however long you plan it out for. So that's an amazing thing.
And listen, you really want to support the Navy SEALs because the SEALs are the very people that'll be sneaking into Buckingham Palace to snatch Prince Andrew to bring him back to the United States.
I feel like, no offense, but I feel like we could just walk in and get him.
You think so?
The tour, someone breaks off the tour and just walks into the wrong room and just, all right, you got to come this way.
That's true. How good could that security be, really? I mean, they wear those big hats. They're all off balance. They must be sweating.
Is there anything in those big hats? You think they keep their lunch in there?
Yeah, and beer too, I think. And they every now and then pull down one of them straws like the football helmets.
Now I would allow that. I'd be like, that's awesome. If I was in charge of that, I'd be like, water. You got to put water up there, or like Gatorade, something to keep your electrolytes going.
That would be nice.
Or Jumpstart Coffee.
Oh, I would love that. I'd love a Jumpstart Coffee helmet.
Then you run the risk, unless it's iced coffee, you run the risk of badly burning your head and your entire face.
I would like to be iced coffee, please. Yeah, that'd be great. The juror who said that they weren't abused is now asked, juror number 50.
Said that he was abused.
As now, counsel for juror number 50 has submitted a motion to intervene and to be provided a copy of the juror's complete questionnaire and voir dire. Judge Allison Nathan wrote in a release this morning. Nathan ordered prosecutors and Maxwell's defense attorneys to respond to the request by January 20th. Nathan has yet
20th. I mean, just look it up. I feel like it's for them. It's as easy as it would be for us to do a Google search. I feel like they just go to the fucking record and be like, "Here's what he said. Here's the voir." I mean, what? They're not digging through archives. They're not looking for the Ark of the Covenant here. They just had the trial. Paperwork's pretty fresh.
This is how these things work, though. I mean, these legal things take forever.
I feel like it's can you open that drawer and hand me the blah blah blah, and I got it. I mean, what's the problem?
Nathan is yet to decide if she will conduct an inquiry into the juror's selection or if the juror will be allowed to weigh in on whether an inquiry should be conducted according to today's order. Juror Scotty David, who has been identified only by his first and middle names, may have upended the conviction. As you know, we've talked about this a bunch after he revealed in a number of interviews with reporters that he was abused as a child. He told Reuters that he shared his experience with the jurors during deliberations, which helped convince his fellow panelists to convict Maxwell on 5 of the 6 accounts that she faced.
Wow, so he actually used his experience during deliberations.
Yeah, we talked about that before.
No, I didn't know that he brought it up during the deliberations. I don't think we said that.
Yeah, he said that in the interviews. That's kind of what started the holy shit. We have to go back and look at this.
Clearly, I don't listen to you. So no, I really don't think we said that. I know that he said it in interviews that he was, but I didn't know he brought that up. Jay Sabs in the house.
What up, Jay Sabs?
What up?
All right. This is a little bit of a sleazy move from the right, but still a point that I wanted to bring up. Lots of stories that CNN's ratings are down 90% year over year.
That's a big drop.
That's a lot. But here's the caveat. Where were we this past week, last year? What was happening? January
big
6th.
time. Insurrection. Yeah.
So everybody was tuned in. They had around 4.5 million viewers, and they've settled back into around 500,000 viewers.
Ooh, damn.
Kind of where they are.
But I mean, it depends on what's actually happening in the news.
Yeah, right now it's.
I would say, yeah.
I mean, other than the vid, they're not really.
Nobody's tuning in for that anymore.
Nobody's tuning in.
But I think it does sort of speak to the fact that nobody really tuned in for the year anniversary of January 6th either. You think they'd had a little bit of a bump to.
I think they
watch coverage of that.
But what is that? That's half an hour, or
on one day.
The speech, a little bit of this. Was it the whole? I don't even know how long. They talk. It was a. What did they do for it? I don't even know. On the 6th,
exactly.
I know that Biden.
Nobody knows. Right?
President Biden gave a speech, but other than that,
Biden doesn't even know what they did for that day.
He can't remember it.
Nah.
Yeah, it's been tested.
Yeah,
I fact checked that, and it is true.
Oh, very good.
Pelosi brought Hamilton, the cast of Hamilton, on to sing
true.
the song. Remember, that was the fun thing everybody got to do.
Wonder how the ratings were that day.
And I want to address somebody like ripped me a new asshole in the comments. It was like, check your facts, dick. He's like, Fox News is number one. I'm like, yeah, Fox News is number one. I never said that. What I had said, he was responding to what I had said in that particular episode.
Are a dick, but
what I had said is that all of the networks across the board are down. You still have first, second, and third, and fourth place. But
but check your facts.
They're overall down.
Anthony, check your facts.
I should do my research.
Do your research.
Yeah, is what it is.
You dick.
But CNN is so fucked. I mean, they fired Cuomo. Then they found out Cuomo's producer was a pederast. Then
what?
One of the other producers. Yeah.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I thought we did it. I can't remember now.
All right.
It might have been one of those days where we just didn't have time to get to. It just didn't make the cut. Yeah, one of Cuomo's producers is a pedophile. They got him on text like saying it, and then somebody else. It was either Jake Tapper or one of the other hosts. I don't know who. They got another producer over there that was a pedophile.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Yeah. At Fox News, when Roger Ailes was running it, you couldn't be a woman that walked around there without getting sexually harassed. At CNN, it's pedophiles. It just goes to show you the shit that's going on at these fucking companies.
What the hell? Is there any I don't know. I can't.
No. I wonder how long Jeff Zucker has to go there. Jeff Zucker's been running CNN for quite a while, and let's not forget. Do you know what Jeff Zucker is famous for? A lot of people may not remember this. He was running NBC at the time of the famous Conan Leno debacle.
Oh, I thought Matt Lauer.
Oh, well, actually, I mean, he was there when Matt Lauer was there, but I don't think he had anything. I don't know what his involvement was in that. But, yeah, he was the one that basically pushed Conan out.
This guy has a bad track record.
Yeah, and then they gave him CNN to run. Could you believe that? He fucked up late night so bad, and then they're like, I know, run CNN. It'll be great. Yeah. That's Jeff Zucker, everybody.
He reminds me of someone that we used to work with that just keeps getting chance after chance. Inside joke.
All right, is Hillary getting a comeback? God, I hate Democrats.
This has got to be someone else.
There was an op-ed written by Andrew Stein, who was the former Manhattan Borough president, and Doug Schoen in the Wall Street Journal today, talking about the fact that the perfect storm might occur where Biden is not fit to run, or the fact that his plummeting job approval ratings will prevent him from running. Nobody likes Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is becoming who is the mayor that just left? If I didn't have COVID brain, I would have known this joke. Thank you. She is becoming
Wait, you have COVID?
Yeah. She is becoming the de Blasio of the federal government. Nobody
Step
likes
away
her.
from you. Yeah. People don't like her.
People do not like her. And they're talking about, this might be a great time for Hillary Clinton to come back. The last thing we need in the world is a Hillary Clinton comeback.
Just no. Just think of all the memes that there would be and how great they would be. Okay?
I mean,
that's true.
Trump would obliterate her. It would not even be close.
It didn't work the first time.
It did.
No, it didn't.
And this idea.
What didn't work the first time?
She lost against Trump.
Oh, I thought you meant something completely different. Okay.
Yes.
What do you think he meant?
I thought he meant it didn't work for Trump the first time, and I was like, wait, what?
Oh, no. I mean, putting Hillary up against Trump didn't work.
It worked great for Trump.
Right.
Go ahead, Gene.
Right. You know what's funny? Like sometimes I'll think, like, why didn't she win? If there was so many people who didn't want Trump, do you think? Hear me out. Do you think that for that race, people were like, I don't need to vote because there's no way that he's going to win. So I'm not getting out there and voting. Do you think that's why?
Some of that, yeah.
I think it was also the I don't want to vote for Trump, but I just don't like Hillary.
She's very hated.
Yeah, and he was an outsider, not a politician, and his bullshit worked.
He was a fresh perspective. Remember, everybody hates him now for 4 years, but before that, they didn't really hate him. Nobody really hated him.
Nobody.
Because he was insignificant.
I mean, Frank didn't dislike him back then.
I had zero opinion on the guy.
Exactly. That was
because he was a game show host. That's all we knew about him.
Yeah. But
reality TV game show host.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will say that the media shit the bed because their coverage was what's the word to use here? It was flawed. They would use their own polls instead of like Gallup or AP, and like you could look, I remember like looking at the poll. I've talked about this ad nauseum. I would look at the polls and go, he's in the margin to win. like going into it the day before, I was on in the mornings on EHM, and I said he is in the margin to win. He can win, and they were lining up fireworks, and they were doing all these things, and I was like, they're putting the cart before the horse because they're acting like she's walking away with this. Like, who on earth would possibly vote for this man? And they just totally discounted Middle America,
Well,
strong
not only that,
conservatives.
it wasn't only that. It was also Comey came out with, what the hell was it? Comey dropped something like the week before about
about her, right?
about her. I don't even remember what it was.
Was it Benghazi? Was it something with Benghazi? Probably.
I think it was after. Let me see. I'll look it up, but continue.
Yeah, I do remember there was something that because she had done a not so great job in all the roles that she was kind of given. You know, and then like she came here and was like a New York senator and didn't really do anything.
Yeah.
And just kind of won because New York is Democrat crazy and who's not going to vote for the first lady.
Oh, it's because of the emails. That's why.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
Comey
was
wrote a
big
letter saying that about the emails, and then that just went that hit her hard.
Right.
What did she do with the emails again? She didn't use her.
She used her own
used a
personal
private
server instead of a government server that was protected. So all her stuff could have gotten stolen. It was irresponsible.
Yeah, and he did the same thing a year later.
I don't understand why people do this though. Like, and I've said this before too. Why not? Why use your personal email for work?
Because old people are stuck on that
They're old
just
don't
AOL.com
right.
address.
Old people are very, no offense, but sometimes they don't double check with, the
was her email
technology a little bit,
Hillary for Prez at AOL.com?
Probably.
It was fuckbill at AOL.com. Just hanging on until it's my turn at AOL.com.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
no, we love all people. Don't worry. Old people.
Well, yeah. Well, I still have my at AOL. I still use my AOL.
Get out.
That's crazy.
I do.
Get out. Bye.
I'm used to it. I got all my stuff on there. But yeah, this Doug Schoen and Andrew Stein should be dragged out in the middle of the street in front of their families and hit by a car. I mean, they really.
Whoa.
Why anybody would raise this issue is beyond stupid to me.
Oh.
Beyond stupid. Speaking of which, hold on. They also floated out in an op-ed. Here's the problem with op-eds. Anybody can say whatever they want.
This makes no sense, by the way.
They would replace Harris with
Republican Cheney.
With Republican Cheney.
Yeah, that'll work.
Which, okay, listen, in fantasy land is a lovely idea. We would all love wonderful to see a Democrat and a Republican on the same ticket. But in reality,
how does that even work? I mean,
how does it work?
I mean, so Liz Cheney would show up to the Democratic National Convention and be the nominee with. I mean, Biden would be the nominee, but.
Well, Biden would put her on the ticket.
Just put her on the ticket.
Yeah, because it's the running mate.
I know how it would work, but it's just very.
It's always it's always assumed that the person that's in the House is going to be on the ticket, but it's not always necessarily the case. You can switch vice presidents.
Lose me.
They think that it would work. I mean, technically, you would think like, oh, this would be a chance to win over some Republican votes. Again, in theory, these all sound really nice, but the fact of the matter is that Trump has, what's it called when you make a villain? Villainized.
When you make a villain?
Wow, are you all right there?
COVID brain, dude, is a real thing.
Oh, God.
Trump's villainized Cheney. He's got all the Trump Republicans to hate her. Because she's
not all of them. I feel like he's losing some people recently.
I think he is too.
I don't think he's as popular as he was.
I think he's losing people. How many? I don't know. I don't know. But I don't know if it's enough to totally wipe him out of his popular stance, but I think he's definitely losing some people. Now I'll say this too. I'm 99% sure this doesn't happen. The only reason why I say it's not 100% is because we are in a post-Trump world where we did elect Trump, And I feel like anything really can happen.
Anything could happen.
What if it was rigged, though? And we can't trust the election.
Speaking of which, this is, again, I would love to get both of your views on this.
Oh, I didn't even know what this is about.
Today, Trump took a shot at Ron DeSantis and called him gutless, or said he was being too gutless to reveal whether or not he had received a vaccine booster shot or not.
I don't know if that's. I feel like that's nothing for Trump. He could call his
Are you crazy? This is what everybody thinks is going to be his future vice presidential
I think he
candidate.
could still. I don't think it's as insulting in Trump world as you think it is. I think it's Trump just, I think that it doesn't ruin whatever chances of them coming together, because Trump insults. He'll say that to his own son. It doesn't. It's not like he's saying anything.
But at the same time, not only are you alienating the person that everybody wants you to be with, you're also alienating your base. A lot of conservatives believe it's your choice and don't believe in the vaccine. I'm not saying all, right?
Well, he's got,
but definitely he's got more to lose. When Biden says get the booster, he's not losing any followers there. When Trump says get the booster, he is contradicting a portion of his base. So it's kind of a crazy, bold move to be like, oh, the guy who everybody calls is me 2.0 is too gutless for being able to talk whether or not he got his booster.
So maybe that means he's not counting on DeSantis, and he's probably going to run. Because he's not like he's setting up DeSantis as his, the guy who's going to take his mantle.
Oh, it's a pretty big move, pretty big thing to say for somebody who you're going to one day ask to be your VP if he's going to do it.
Unless he doesn't like him.
Unless he's not going to do it.
That's a possibility. But he has a lot of balls. I'm not the first guy to call him a hypocrite, but to say, oh, you should reveal your vaccine status when Trump hid everything about himself. You should reveal your taxes. You should reveal your grades from school. When does he not have his foot in his mouth is all I'm going to say. Ooh. Back to you in the studio. No,
go ahead. I only muted it because I thought Janine was about to respond to you. So go ahead.
Good.
I think he probably said that because he was president when the vaccine came out. So I feel like he has that, oh, look at me. I made the vaccine come out. So it's almost like he's saying to him, like, you got the vaccine because I made it happen. And for some reason, he doesn't want to admit that to him.
Trump is standing by that vaccine. I'll give him credit.
No, he is. He is, which is what you said before. I don't know. It's very hard because I don't think, and actually I watched Megyn Kelly say this today, which I agree with her. I don't think I think for the majority, people who don't get the vaccine, it's not necessarily that they're against the vaccine, but it's that they're against mandates, which I agree with.
That is the worst reason not to get a vaccine. I'm not getting a vaccine because you told me to.
No, I mean
You're talking about two different things. She's saying something different. Go ahead, finish what you were.
That's what she said.
But I feel like, so if there's hardcore Trump supporters, they don't believe in mandates, then they're probably not going to get the vaccine, right? Just because, no matter what, if they're mandated to do it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't think it would stop them from getting it if he got it. I don't think that's
stop who from getting it.
I don't think it would stop themselves from getting the vaccine.
Well, Trump himself has said, I don't believe in mandates, but I believe everybody should get the vaccine.
Right. So that's what I'm saying.
That's kind of in Trump's line. But the call out here of bullshit is Trump has said, I'm vaccinated and I have the booster. He's calling out DeSantis, who feels the same way, that you shouldn't have to mandate it, but everybody, I don't know if he thinks everybody should get it. I believe he thinks that.
I don't know. Does he?
He's basically calling him out for not divulging his status, because he knows he's going to get flack back from his, again, a portion of his base.
Right. Yep. Well, like I said, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
That one guy that I know who was a huge Trump supporter and then just stopped because he got the vaccine. That's why. Which, to me, that's so stupid. That is so stupid. That
it is.
Has nothing to do with.
It is, because that should be the last reason.
Well, I stopped you, Frank, before because you're saying it's not a good reason. What Janine was saying, Megyn Kelly was saying, is it's one of the number one reasons.
Yeah, and I'm saying
so it doesn't. This obviously doesn't have to be good or not. She's just saying this is probably one of the bigger reasons.
Yeah, and I'm saying
that
anybody
conversations.
No, same conversation. I'm saying that anybody who doesn't get the vaccine because they're being told to is dumb.
One of our co-hosts.
That's not why you're not getting the vaccine. You're not getting the vaccine because
I have no idea why Janine has not gotten it.
And I don't have to get it.
No, you don't.
I'm not being mandated to. So
that's not the reason you're not getting it. You're not getting it because you think it's not safe or whatever. Right?
I don't know. She's never given a reason.
I mean, there's a few reasons. Like, I am partially scared of what my body might do as a reaction to it.
I think you turn into a superhero, if I'm going to be totally honest.
Yeah, what if that's the case?
Listen. I'm already a superhero because I already could read minds, especially my husband's, before he says anything.
I had a thought the other day before I got COVID to do a meme where, where in the Matrix where he's dodging all the bullets.
Yeah.
Is to have Janine be Keanu.
That's me.
And have the vaccines, needles. The virus, all the things, just her dodging everything. Because you haven't gotten COVID, right? You haven't gotten sick.
No, and the last couple of weeks, I was exposed 3 times.
That's insane to me.
What?
That's insane to me. Like Frank, I get Frank's not left his house
that's not
since
true
2019.
That is not true. I go out. I do.
Well, you go out, but then you go home early. That's the.
I just don't like secret. Hanging out with you guys. So I go home early because I want to get the hell out of there.
Well, I get him being, not having it. He's very safe and very cautious. You, on the other hand, are the complete opposite. You're like licking homeless COVID people, and you still haven't gotten it.
I'll just say this. One of my instances was I was at a place in a house where everybody got COVID except me and my husband and another person.
How long were you with them?
5.5 hours.
Nice.
Holy shit.
You were in the same room with someone with COVID.
Jesus.
Not just one person.
All right, now let me ask you this. Did you have a bad illness at all? Like at any point? Because like I was really sick December of 2019. And I still feel like that was unlike anything I've ever had before.
Really?
Yeah. And then when it all happened and then when they started saying that, do you remember it was March or I don't even know, April, whatever it was, when they started saying that they were going back to blood donations.
Yeah.
And they discovered that COVID was here prior to when we had the big shutdown. I was like, I fucking wonder if that was COVID.
Wait, but the first case didn't come in until like December. There's no way you had it. They only had the first case like December of 2019.
The thing is
I was in
that
Manhattan
we know.
I was in Manhattan in December.
All right. Was it in Manhattan that they got the first case?
Well, I don't know.
I thought it was in California. I don't know.
Anyway, no, I didn't.
My question still stands. So, Janine, did you have something like that? You didn't. So this is amazing. You might be the fucking Will Smith of this fucking virus. We might
get us all out of it.
Yeah.
Find the cure.
Go
get it.
The answer might be in your blood.
So what's funny is that some people who were there tested before because they didn't want to be sick. and then be with, whatever. And they all came back negative. And then 2 days later, everybody started.
So the people who got sick, who got COVID, were they vaccinated or not?
Yep.
All right. So then maybe they
all of them.
That's good. Maybe they had a milder, nothing doing kind of strain, because it was in their body, but their immune system was fighting it, and it wasn't as contagious. Maybe
No, the thing is,
helped it.
It's still as contagious if you're vaccinated or not.
Depends on, but it depends on the Omicron's more contagious than the other one.
I think we're gonna find that. I think we're gonna find that this Omicron variant, that the current vaccines and even boosters that we have.
I will say this: my friend and her husband got it. Different couple. He had it April 2021. He got it again, and it was worse. So could you really say? I don't know. But it's like, I don't know. I feel like it's so hard to determine why some people get it and why don't, vaccinated or not. That doesn't even, like, at this point, that doesn't even matter to me. It's like, why do some people get it and why some people don't?
I agree, and I don't think we're going to have the answer to any of these questions for another 15 years.
Thanks, Anthony.
I just don't. I really don't. I listened to, who's that guy on? Rogan had one of these anti-vaccine doctors on just before Christmas, Peter McCullough. And he was saying, he went into this whole big thing, and he has all his other vaccines, and his main point was that they're not treating people because they're so hard up to get people to be vaccinated.
And that is true too.
Which
what do you mean they're not treating people?
There's a smidge of validity there, where he was calling out some of the procedural issues where you can't get monoclonal antibodies unless you're, like, I don't know, in the hospital or something. And then even when you go into the hospital, sometimes
it's hard to get them.
It's hard to, meaning, and his point was, you can't get monoclonal antibodies until you go to the hospital. They tell you not to go to the hospital until it's really bad.
Right.
If you're given the monoclonal antibodies when it's really bad, you have a less chance of surviving than if you were just given the monoclonal antibodies prior to you getting to the point where you got really bad. Which that makes a lot of sense. It's like, well, why are we doing that way? And he's basically saying that there's like this whole main focus just on preventative care versus treatment. Okay, fine. But one of the things that he said was that you can't get this twice. And I just don't buy. I think he's flat out wrong.
I think that's wrong, unless it's the different strain you get the second time. Because my brother got it twice. It was definitely COVID. Maybe he got the second strain. Maybe it's you can get one and then get the other.
Your little brother, you mean? Yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah. I feel like
my friend's husband just got it twice too. But
yeah, he was saying that you were sick, or whatever it was, and that or you had it, and then if you have it again, you really don't have it again. You're sick, but you get tested and they still find strains of it in you.
So then you have it.
But I think that's bullshit, because some people have to get tested to go back to their jobs.
Yeah, so I'm going to explain that because I know a little bit about this science.
Go ahead.
So there's like two different kinds of antibodies that they could test in your blood. Okay. And one is like present, like you've had it, but it's not, and it's always going to be there. It's always going to show up positive. And the other one is now. So the problem is, this is what the problem is too. They're saying that you could test positive up to 12 weeks from getting sick. But they're not looking at antibodies then. This is like just a regular PCR or rapid test.
Yeah.
So, but the problem is it's hard to get an antibodies test because they're kind of swaying people away from that because they want you just to get the vaccine and the booster. But like I think that there's people who are curious and just want to know, like, hey, what's my status right now?
Well, case in point.
Curious or not, who the hell? I mean, they're not there to make you less curious. They're there to either give you the vaccine or not.
No, I just mean like the antibodies test. Like, Anthony, since you said you have COVID now, I want to see that. I want to see that positive result.
By the way, the quickest way to get banned from the show now is calling it this just a flu. That's the quickest way to get booted from this show.
Oh, here comes I got the vid.
In the comments.
In the comments, there's always somebody like, this is just a regular flu.
Or there is no COVID.
Yeah,
the hell out of here.
Yeah, for sure.
It's all a conspiracy. Okay.
But to your point, Janine, my wife took the at-home test that we had, and it came up negative. And she told me, she's like, there is no way. She's like, this is unlike anything else I've ever felt before. And so we're like, well, let's go get a test. And sure enough, within 24 hours, we got a PCR test, and we were both positive. Shut up. You know that already.
I just wanted to practice that. Thank you.
Oh, my stars.
It's a nice performance.
Heart.
Very well done.
My heart. Here's the thing with that, too.
Mm-hmm.
She technically could have tested too early, even though she had symptoms.
She could have. The thing to do now, I guess, would be to use the other test we have to see if it comes up positive. But
you could, but like, again, don't test after 14 days up to 12 weeks.
Basically, now if you get they were saying that we're all probably going to get it at some point. It's going to happen.
Yeah. So I just think that they're going to, I think in a couple of weeks or months, they're going to be like, oh, and by the way, research tells us that the at-home test did not detect this Omicron at all. It was not.
Meanwhile, they're saying that it does. I mean, depending on who you listen to, some say yes, some say no, some say put it down your throat.
It's hard because we're going through it right now. There's no historical basis to base this on.
So my friend tested positive last Monday, and for some reason he wanted to go get tested again today. He goes there and they turned him away and said, you're way too early. You have to come back after 14 days. And even that, we don't suggest you come back because you're going to test positive. So here's the problem too. Why are you making that face, Frank?
I don't understand why they would turn him away.
Because it doesn't make sense, because it's going to show up positive.
Okay.
It's too close.
I'm putting on my Tucker Carlson face.
Right. They're saying it's been 10 days, so you're going to test positive. So
he knew it was positive already.
Right. But I guess he just wanted to see if he still was positive.
Oh, he still has it.
Well, remember, you used to have a negative test to go back to work, and now the CDC is like, 5 days will be fine.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't see how. I'm on technically day 2 because I only showed symptoms really yesterday.
It's 5 days after your symptoms stop.
Yep.
No.
Yeah. Well, after you feel better, 5 days.
No, it's 5 days after you show symptoms.
So that can't be right, because if you're still sick in 5 days, it doesn't go away sometimes in 5 days.
One of you is gonna have to look it up. I can't read it.
I can't look that up right now. I don't know. They keep changing it. So here.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, here is the messed up part is, my father was supposed to have surgery and didn't even know he had COVID until he had to take the test for surgery. So now they told him you have to have a negative test for surgery. The problem with that is he has to, go for pre-surgical testing before he does the surgery. So now he has to, what he's going to have to do is test at home, see if he's negative. And if he's negative, he can do the testing. If not, because then he's just going to have to keep doing it over and over and over. So I just said, let's just put you in the tub, fill it with ice, take out the appendix, so you'll be fine.
Yeah. We could do this in my basement.
Right.
Okay, so it says, according to the CDC, they say you have to quarantine. If you come in contact with someone with COVID, you quarantine for 5 days. And if you don't show signs after 5 days, you're good to 5 full days of quarantine and you're good to go. Then you get tested and then watch for symptoms until 10 days after you last had close contact with someone with COVID. So what is it? Get tested after 5 days. Unquarantine yourself after 10 days.
Oh, is that what it says?
That's if you come into contact with someone that had COVID.
So what if you have it? Like when could I return to society?
That's what I haven't gotten to that.
Okay.
It's basically, I think it's 5 days after your symptoms stop.
5 days after they stop?
Yep.
That's what I'm looking for.
That's a lot.
But I think generally it's like 10 days from, I don't know. Because if you're positive and you don't have any symptoms, after 5 days, you could go to work. You know what I mean?
I will say this is a pretty shitty fucking, like, I've had the flu. This sucks. This is awful.
Really? Like, what do you feel? Tell me your symptoms.
Awful. So yesterday morning, we did the last podcast we did was Monday night. Tuesday, and I said I got a little scratchy throat. I was running around all day. My wife was like down and out for the count, so I had the kids all day long. I thought it was just like run down from the day, you know. At least that's what I was hoping. When I woke up yesterday morning, Tuesday morning, I honestly, it felt like fucking death. Like my head was just spinning. It was like dizziness, and I felt like I was fucking overheating and all that shit. And I went down and I took my temperature, and it was 102.8, maybe. So I took Tylenol, right away as soon as I could get it. And that was it. Like I was up, but I was out for the better part of the day. Like I was on the computer and I would do a couple things, and like in 20 minutes I would be like, oh, let me just put my head back down again, and I'd fucking be out for like another 2 or 3 hours. And the same thing. And then so yesterday afternoon though, I started I was doing the Tylenol Motrin, and it was like, oh, I feel a little bit better. So I got on the computer and I was doing like 3-4 hours worth of stuff. I had like a nice little fucking stretch. And I was like, maybe the worst of it is past and this is fine. I woke up this morning, status quo, okay. This afternoon, same kind of thing. Like it came rushing back. And just before we started, I felt the same thing. I was like, let's cancel this. Because I was like, and I was at 101.8 and it felt like it was like going back up again.
All right, so here's what they say at CDC.
But by the way, can I also just say before you read that, achy like you wouldn't believe. And
that's the worst.
When I was like standing for 5 minutes, just before, my wife goes, look at you. Are you in pain? And I didn't even realize, but I was leaning on the door. And you know when you shift weight from your legs? Sure. She's like, you shifted weight like 6 times since you've been standing there. And like the pain in your legs is like...
You're just uncomfortable. Ooh. Your muscles hurt.
It's so fucking uncomfortable.
I hear you.
All right, the body aches are the worst.
All right, so it says you can end isolation after 5 full days if you are fever-free for 24 hours without the use of fever-reducing medications and your other symptoms have improved. So
there's no real answer.
No, so you to calculate, it says day 0 is your first day of symptoms. Day 1 is the first full day after your symptoms develop. You can leave isolation after 5 full days, but you have to test yourself after the 5th day. Can you go 24 hours without your fever spiking?
Okay. So today is technically day 1.
No, today's day 2.
Your symptoms started yesterday?
Tuesday.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So today's day 1.
So and Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So Monday, if I don't have a fever.
You have to go 24 hours without your fever spiking and without the use of medicine to stop your fever from spiking. And your other symptoms have to improve. And it says you should continue to wear a mask in public for additional 5 days after the end of your 5-day isolation period. If you are unable to wear a mask around others, you should continue to isolate for a full 10 days. And then there's other factors here. So the CDC has it laid out what you should be doing.
I'll be honest. I think after tomorrow, fam, you're not going to have a fever anymore. If you even have one tomorrow.
I hope not.
That would be good. That would be good.
I kind of thought yesterday when I felt really good. I had like 20 minutes where I was like, oh shit, like this is over. I got one of them 1-dayers like
1-dayers
like Rogan had.
I think even if your symptoms subside tomorrow, I think you still got to go to full 5 days of isolation. Like if you feel better tomorrow, I don't think you can go out to dinner tomorrow night.
No, I wouldn't do that. But is it because you were hanging out with AOC, fam? Is that how you got it or what?
Does she have it too?
Yeah. Where you guys been?
I don't know.
I know. Frankie's probably like, fuck, you need to bring up AOC, my girl. Sorry, Frankie.
What, that she has COVID? Mm-hmm. Anthony's my boy. What's the difference?
Who do you like more, me or AOC?
I gotta go AOC on that one.
If one of us had,
I didn't even give you a chance to go. Give me.
If both of them were on the Titanic, in the water, whose hand?
If one of us had to die from COVID, who would you?
If I'm anything like Rose, I'd throw myself on the door and save myself.
Right.
You guys are frozen.
Good.
I am sweating profusely. We have to end this. Megan Fox is engaged to Machine
Gun
Gun
Kelly.
Yeah, and I also heard they like drank each other's blood or something.
Yes, I love it.
What?
Shit.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I mean, hey, as long as you're both cool with it, more power to you. But that is some weird stuff.
They drank each other's blood?
How crazy do you think their sex is?
Oh,
how crazy do you think their sex is? Okay.
Crazy good sex.
I hope so. Good for them.
But this is gonna end really bad. Like, there's no way this ends.
No.
There's no way they end this with like a wonderful 50-year marriage, right?
I mean, they have grandkids and great grandkids.
Yeah, there's no way.
Granddad,
you don't think so? Wow,
Kelly.
you have no hope. By the way, real quick, my predictions about COVID and married couples have been pretty much on par for, I'd say, almost 95 to 98% correct. Go ahead.
What is this again? Go ahead. Give your thing. Go ahead.
They have COVID.
You have each other in a nice warm embrace.
I've noticed that couples who are married longer than 10 years, one of them will not get COVID. Why? Because obviously, number one is they don't really like each other that much anymore, so they don't really kiss either. But the ones who have been married less than 10 years, they're definitely getting COVID. Both of them are definitely getting it. So.
And the example you cited here was Frank's brother.
Frank's brother, you guys, my other friend.
You guys,
but we're not married. But exactly, we're not married more than 10 years, so we both have it.
Exactly. My friend and her husband married over 10 years. She got it. He didn't get it. Another couple, they both did not get it either. Married over 10 years. So
it could be something.
I'm onto something.
I think you should report this to Veers. That's what I think. You should log
more time.
And NIH. Thank you.
The more time people spend with each other, the more their bodies kind of sync up, I guess. That's true with other things.
That's true. My wife and I get our periods.
You guys, both of you, right? They sync up and they help each other.
That is true. That is true. But
it might be onto something.
Yeah.
Never know.
Kodak Black at the Panthers game. Did you guys see this video?
That was something. I mean, there's got to be a law against that, no?
Well, they're saying now that they didn't actually have sex, and I'll bring this up for everybody to see. This is coming from.
Ooh, that's what she said.
David954FLA on Twitter. Good for him for scooping this up. But he was at the Panther game, and Kodak Black is a rapper. And so the NHL, like all sport leagues, will invite celebrities to games, and then they put them on the screen at the game, and then they put them on like their Twitter accounts and their social. It makes a big deal. Like, look at all the celebrities coming.
But they were in like a private booth, right? One of those like 20-seat.
Well, when you get those things, they want you to be seated down low, so you get that. So there's shots of you down there, and then you get like the
you go up behind you, you get the snacks and stuff.
The box, right? Yeah, the private.
That's
box.
what she said.
And so
I purposely avoided the word box so that
too late.
So that I wouldn't do it. That's why I said balcony or whatever the hell I said.
It appeared that he was getting in her box at this game because here we go.
This
Twitter.
Is crazy.
Here, take a look.
Right there, center of your screen.
Right there.
Under the word truly.
And Florida.
Where is it?
No, not there yet.
Wait, right there. You see him?
There.
See this young lady
truly
bent
down.
Over?
Under the Y. Yeah. Under the R.
Oh, got me so excited.
Look how turned on Janine is right now.
I gotta go.
That is crazy. I mean, she does look like she's naked.
Yeah, somebody else had put like a closer angle. I can't find it now. I guess it's not gonna pop up. It was right underneath the original video. But anyway, yeah, they're saying now that she was just twerking on him, but it looks like they're.
Hey, I mean,
still kind of crazy behavior at a hockey game.
Yeah, I mean,
hockey.
I'm
NFL,
sure the NHL didn't
story.
appreciate this.
Right. If it was a football game, different story. Right?
I don't think that's
I don't know
true.
if they would have appreciated it either, because they were like all over their social media, and then this is all anybody wanted to talk about.
It looks like, I mean, the way he is reacting, it looks like it's not just a twerking thing.
Yeah, because he's like grabbing the side. It's really awkward. There's like whoever, see this guy right here, whoever that is,
that looks like a security guard or something.
I think it was part of his entourage.
Right.
I could have sworn. Yeah, I know I had seen it at some point, but anyway.
That is
hysterical.
That's Kodak Black at the old hockey game.
Good for him.
Never saw that
Good
move
for her.
before.
Having a good time at the hockey game.
Having a good old
Just
time.
don't slip one past the goalie. Unless you're ready for
Definitely not.
You guys got anything else?
I know what you got.
Exactly. Oh my God.
Dude.
I'm so miserable.
So that means you and your wife still kiss. That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now that you're all achy and stuff, you're like, get the hell away from me.
Well, this has been a point. So, and my wife is a cuddler by nature. Like me too. I like to cuddle. But when she started not feeling good, we quarantined her in the extra bedroom. And then when it was like, oh, we both have it, she was like, well, are we gonna sleep together? And I was like, I don't know. I was like, maybe we should.
Obviously, yes.
I think she got mad at me.
Oh, I would. Oh, I'm gonna text her.
Because then I just went back to her and I was like, do you wanna like sleep together now? And she's like, no. She's like, I'm enjoying this. My point was, and
Lucy and Ricky beds, I see in your future.
My point was, and I think she agrees with it now because she kind of sees it. Like, I was up every 2 hours or so, like last night, and tossing and turning.
Yeah, that's an annoying feeling.
And she was up. It was so funny. I got up this morning and I was like, I was up since 4:30, and she was like, 4:30 is when I finally, because the kids had woken up. And so she went in to deal with the kids, and which is the other annoying thing. We're like quadruple masking and washing hands and doing all that kind of stuff. But like we were both up and not sleeping the entire night and hadn't realized. And I said, like, it's and it's true. If we were sleeping together, we would be just driving each other crazy the entire
tossing and turning.
Night.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's hard enough to like stay asleep as it is, Now you have and we're both coughing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like,
yeah, you don't want to be that.
I don't think you want to like have that in your bed. I don't think that helps at all.
You'd be like, I'll see you Monday.
I mean, I can't. I mean, maybe another night or two. I guess. I don't know, but
I don't know. Good luck.
we'll see what happens.
And the kids are okay.
Yeah, the kids are doing all right. I mean, they're like miserable. Is like, they don't really get it, and all we've been saying to them is get away, stand over there, like go away, go downstairs. My daughter asked me 3 times today. She's like, "Why are you up here?" She doesn't really get it.
Just throw her tablet.
Sick. Doesn't want to get you sick. But are they sick?
They're fine. It's not the tablet. It's they like if we're
just attention. I know.
Yeah, if we're all home, they like have like I don't know about your kids, Steve. My kids don't let me sit. Like when I'm home, they're like, let's play a game. Let's do this. Let's do that. If I say like, oh, daddy's working and I'm like up, I'm up in the studio and working and doing stuff, they'll leave me. They'll come in and bother me a little bit, but they'll give me a bit of a break. But like if it's like a Saturday or whatever and, or I'm just not doing anything that day, if I'm downstairs in the house, they are all over me.
Yeah.
All over.
I'm pissed off if I can't sleep till 10 on a Saturday.
You have no idea, Frank.
No, I get up early on Saturdays actually.
And then like my son today, I don't know if my wife put it in the group chat, but my son today put his mask on and put his pillow and blanket in the doorway of the spare bedroom where my wife was, just so he could kind of like lay in the same room.
That's adorable.
As her. Yeah, because she won't let, because we're not letting them in the rooms. And so he was like, if I stay here.
And she's like, get out of the door. Mommy's watching Sex in the City.
My wife went through the entire Sex in the I don't know. I think she finished the whole series.
Really?
Yeah, she's been watching it nonstop. I mean,
I know. She told me.
She's been sleeping through a healthy amount of episodes too, but she's been watching.
That's all right. Some of them you don't need to watch. So
it seeps in.
Yeah.
My wife, sometimes I'm asleep and my wife starts watching these crime things, and I have the weirdest, craziest dreams because it seeps in.
Oh God!
And I'm like hunting people down and stuff, and it's like wild.
Killing people.
Yeah, and I'm
like your wife.
This is not good. I wake up, I'm like, maybe watch The Simpsons. I don't know.
Yeah.
Here's what I don't get though. There's 2 things just before we go. If they say like 140 million people have already had this thing now, and there's like 180 people that are like vaccinated, like shouldn't we be rounding third here? Shouldn't this be done? Like how is this still fucking going on?
Yeah, people.
Doesn't make any sense. And also, here's the other thing that's bothering me too. I was thinking about this in my fever dreams.
Oh God!
These people that are like don't get the vaccine because it's like a conspiracy for the pharmaceutical companies to make money off of us, right? They're the same people that are like take ivermectin or monoclonal antibodies or all this shit. But it's like, who do you think is making that shit?
Yeah,
everybody's got to make money somehow.
It's the same idea. Money, you're either gonna go to the hospital, get sick, and have to pay that, or you get the vaccine and pay that.
It's still the pharmaceuticals making both fucking things. You don't pay
anything, by the way.
But it's still pharmaceuticals making both things. So how is that stopping? That doesn't make any sense to me.
Vaccine's free, by the way.
I think because they're pushing the vaccine, but not pushing the other treatments. I think that's what it is too.
I think it's time we just reevaluate the whole thing. I think it's time to produce a new plan. And I'm not saying that vaccines aren't a part of that. I think they are, but I think it's just time. We're on year 2 now. When we hit March, it'll be 2 years.
Well, it's funny that you say that because my friend's brother has it, and he has a disease and he couldn't get the vaccine, so they are treating him with ivermectin and the other thing, something.
Hydroxychloroquine.
Yep. So they're treating him with both.
Yeah.
So whatever works.
But I honestly didn't know that they were still doing I didn't know that they were actually treating people with it because, like I said, you don't hear about what they treat people with. All you hear is about the vaccine.
Yeah. Well, because there's disputed information on these drugs, because some of them say that I don't know, there was like a case study in India, and they were like, once they started distributing the stuff in India, like all their numbers came crashing down, and it looked great. So that's why they started using it. But then there was also like this theory of like, well, it had run its course through the population, and
Yeah.
the numbers had nowhere to go. But again, nobody fucking
Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Yeah, well,
it's crazy.
Yeah, I hear you. But I think we asked for help from the government. They gave us the vaccine. A bunch of us are like, no,
Frank,
we don't
say
want
thank
that
you,
help.
Donald Trump.
Yeah, I'm sure he was in the lab.
Thank you,
You
Donald
know what
Trump.
he did? He said,
He was the
make a
government.
vaccine. Is what he said. That was his contribution.
I think he was mixing it all, like in the cartoons when they're just putting stuff in the potion, and it's
Like
got the
Homer?
little-
That was him. Yeah, he had one of those things like.
I'm gonna put a little ivermectin in now. It's gonna be
Just a
great.
touch. But either
Um,
way, the government gave us something, and everybody's like, well, not everybody, but a lot of people are like, no, I'm good. It's like, well, then don't complain.
well, we're a year and a half into vaccines now, 2 years into this thing. I just think, I obviously think vaccines are gonna be part of this moving forward, and people should get the vaccine. I'll always maintain that, but I don't know. I just feel like we gotta
Do something else?
do something else. It's time to start drawing up a new play here a little bit. Something, anything. I don't know. Something. I don't have the answers. I'm just saying it kind of feels like with this Omicron wave, you heard about it. People started talking about the fact that it was bad, and I feel like it came through and kicked the shit out of everybody because there weren't enough tests. There wasn't enough preparedness. There wasn't.
But here's the thing: if they thought that other variants would come out, wouldn't they have enough tests? Like,
Well, you can't test for something that doesn't exist yet. You don't know how it's going to mutate.
Well, as soon as they figured out where it was, they figured out how to test for it. But then they have to mass produce those things. But it's still the same. I think it's the same test as it's always been.
yeah, it's always been the same test.
Because they're testing for the spike protein or
Right.
whatever the hell they're testing for.
Okay.
But
what's the question then?
I just
How come they didn't have enough?
They just
Yeah, I
weren't
don't know
ready
about that.
for it. They weren't ready for it. Like
I think they may
nobody
have
was.
had. Yeah, I think they didn't count. I think a lot of people traveled, which was unexpected. So, like New York got flooded with a lot of people over the last few weeks,
It was at SantaCon. That's what it was.
and a lot
I'm
of
telling
people were
you.
here and not in other places, and everything was the numbers were.
But
All those vaccinated people at SantaCon.
I was vaccinated. I wore a mask in every situation, and I still got this thing.
That doesn't. That's
It's not.
an
I'm not
argument.
saying don't get vaccinated. I'm just saying it's just.
What does that mean?
It means
Yeah,
that
you
we're
got
not. It means
We're
that
not immune from it. It doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't put a bubble around you. It just helps you
understand.
fight it.
I understand. What I'm saying is it's time to go back to the board a little bit, and even just start announcing some new shit. Even just start talking about like, hey,
Even if
we're
it's
really
not a
looking
thing.
into this treatment, this thing, this new vaccine, this new, whatever. Like I don't hear peep from anybody. I don't want to hear about the fucking Omicron vaccine from the Pfizer CEO. I want to hear about it from the fucking, guy in charge of the whole thing.
Well,
the
now
guy
you
in
would never get
charge-
the Omicron vaccine because you have it right now, right?
I
So
don't
what's
even
the
know.
point?
I'm not allowed to get a booster now, am I? Don't I have to wait?
Yep.
I don't know, but
Doesn't even matter though, because even if you got the booster, you would still have gotten it anyway. Because I know
Did-
people who are fully vaccinated and got that too.
Did you see that? I feel like I'm sweat. Can you? I don't think it's showing up on camera, but I'm like,
Darn
I
it.
feel like a fucking clam right now. You see Fauci and
That's what she said.
Rand Paul
Right.
Yeah.
sparring at each other.
Damn, let me tell you something. You think Fauci fucking hates him?
Yo, hey, did you
He's
see
in-
that? He brought his little printout sheets to the
Yes.
meeting. Did you see
I
that?
loved it. It was like, yeah, right in your ass, pal. You're
Yeah,
making
he-
money off of this pandemic, you asshole.
He
He
was right
hates
because Rand Paul called Fauci out for a lot of shit. And Fauci, that was an excellent counterpoint. Like, if you're so fucking high and mighty, why are you fundraising off of You're fundraising off
You're
of it.
fundraising. Fire Fauci. Donate money. What is the money? How does that money going to fire Fauci?
It's not.
It's
He's
literally just
gonna
going
put
to
it
your
in his
pockets.
pocket. Yeah.
Piece
He's
of
no better
crap.
than anybody else in that fucking Washington, D.C., that
It's
Rand Paul.
unbelievable.
But did he make any good points against Fauci? I didn't see the whole exchange. I only saw 2 minutes of it.
he brought up. He goes, "This is your salary. Why can't we get a statement on what you make and how you make it and where it comes from?" And Fauci goes, "Yeah, you can. It's public knowledge, and it's
He said what
records.
he made. He makes 400,000 a year,
and he said it's public. It's a public matter of public record. You want it? It's out there, or just ask me and we'll give it to you. It's not a private thing. I'm not hiding it." And Rand Paul was like, "Well, I haven't found it." And he was like, "Well, you never asked me for it." And then the camera cuts away to like the person, I forget who it is that runs the whole thing, and you hear Fauci's mic is still on. He goes, "What a moron!"
Oh, for real? I didn't even see that.
Fauci said that to someone sitting next to him about Rand Paul. It's freaking awesome. It's great because
it's good. You need people to audit and call bullshit out. So it's good to have people for that. But it sucks when they're full of just as much shit.
Yeah,
it's really unbelievable.
It's kind of like Fox and CNN fighting against each other.
Yeah, it really is.
I mean,
it really, really is. And you just hope that we get where's the end game gonna come from? Where's the person that most people are gonna be like, oh, I like that person, like that's the person.
No, but you know what? That's not entertaining, so it's not gonna work.
Hey, Reagan got 49 out of 50 states to vote for him.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's true.
Yeah, so that was close. That was probably
get me someone who looks like JFK, and then we'll be good.
We need like a Buddha judge, young guy.
Oh, I hate that.
Or young woman, whoever. In there, young and
young, dumb, and full of
dim sum. But just a fighter. We need someone that's like, you're full of shit. I'm doing.
Imagine that campaign slogan. I'm your next president. I'm young, I'm dumb, and I'm full of.
First and third one are okay, but the dumb part I have a problem with. But yeah,
life.
Good.
I just want to say I started watching Euphoria. You guys got to watch that.
This is a new show on HBO Max.
Yeah, well, not new. They already have one season, but season 2 started. It's just so depressing, but yet so good.
Yeah, sign me up.
Watch it.
I have plenty of time now.
Yeah, watch it.
What's it about? Give me the premise. Don't ruin it, but give me the premise.
It's about a teenager who comes back to her, it's a junior or senior year of high school, and she went to she went away for drugs in the summer, like a treatment center. So she comes back and you kind of see what happened before and what happens now. So it's about teenagers.
Why is everybody talking? I've seen a lot of chatter on social. Is there a lot of sex in it?
Yes. I only watched 1.5 episodes, so I could just imagine to be a lot more.
That was like Girls. Remember Girls? Like there was so much sex in Girls. I feel like people just watched that because it just got them horny. They're like, "Oh, this is a horny
too
show."
much. I didn't need this.
The girls in it, I wouldn't say got people horny, but yeah, I guess so.
Oh, I think it did. Well,
you think so?
Who's the Brian Williams' daughter? Is a fucking knockout.
Oh yeah, she's the only good-looking one in that show. I think everyone else was like.
I can't remember. Well, the main character. I know you guys are shitting on. Who's the other one? One of the blondes was
Zosha Mamet, I think, was in that.
And she was all right.
All right. But I don't think she was. I don't know. I couldn't stand that show either. That was like Sex in the City, but like not as good.
What's a show that just gets you horny from watching, Frank? C-SPAN?
The Star Wars, The Book of Boba Fett.
No, is there a show that like you're like it's a regular show, but you're like you start to.
Why do you want to know that?
What?
Why do you want to know
Frank,
that?
let's go.
Well, because I was going to ask Janine next.
I'm trying to think.
Oh God, I have so many
like that.
I would say mine was during Girls. My wife and I, after a couple episodes, we were like, "Oh, let's go."
Girls.
There was a lot of sex in that show.
Me?
There was a lot of.
Oh my God!
There was a lot of
Hannah's body made you want to have sex.
Yeah, but it was what's his name?
Kylo Ren
and Lena Dunham. I'm like,
and
but they weren't the only. Well, you guys
Frank,
can't get
I
over the
agree
fact
with
that
you on that.
I never watched the show.
Sorry.
To be fair, I never really watched it.
yeah, there was a Brian Williams' daughter, and there was a bunch of other people always having sex in that show.
Yeah.
Yeah, Frank. Besides The Mandalorian, which I finished season 1. You're welcome.
Thanks.
Was that a turn on? The Mandalorian.
All right. No, I can't think of a show that.
Oh, I have like 5 on the top of my head. Go ahead.
What's that show where they help the homeless people off the streets? That's the one that Janine's going to name. Just go with that.
What would you do with Brian, whatever his name is? They see me holding up a sign pretending I'm homeless too.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't. There's no.
Come on, Frank.
I'm thinking.
Come on, man.
That really does it for me. I'm trying to think.
The Star Wars, where she's walking around in the bikini.
Oh, God.
If they made a show out of that, that'd be great. I'd watch that.
I already have like.
Yeah, but besides girls,
Janine,
what else is there?
Give us a couple while he thinks.
Definitely. Most recently, Bridgerton.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like there was like 3 episodes. I look like a 10. I was like, yeah, I have to put this on pause right now.
Saddle up.
Sex Life.
Okay.
Whatchamacallit? Dexter.
A lot of recent.
Dexter.
Wow, Dexter.
What?
You're gonna murder that husband of yours one day.
There was a lot of sex towards the end.
Of the new
No.
one or the old one?
Old one.
Don't spoil it for me.
Yep.
Wow.
The Affair on HBO.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You got a lot of recent ones. You got
I don't watch
6.
these shows. I don't watch these kinds of shows.
Janine's
I watch Dexter.
Janine's answer is basically everything on streaming. Anything on the streaming service.
The Golden Girls.
Good for your husband.
Do you want me to pretend like I don't know anymore and I had to think?
What was that other one we were just talking about? You? Wasn't You like a sex show?
Oh yeah,
or no?
yeah. You.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that, then I was like, I think that's too much to say, so I'm not gonna say it. But now, I do agree that definitely You. Yeah,
right.
Definitely You.
Frank, did you come up with anything besides Rachel Maddow and Wolf Blitzer?
Golden Girls.
Golden Girls. You really can't think of anything that gets you and your wife kind of. What do you guys watch together?
We watch all different shows, but we don't watch like Steam. Like I can't think of any that are like intense like that. Like there's nothing.
You didn't watch Bridgerton?
No.
All right, Janine. Since you're the queen of sex streaming shows, what was if you had to give them one, Frank and his wife, to watch? What would be your number one suggestion to a friend?
Bridgerton right now.
Okay. Isn't that like an old English thing though? Isn't that like okay? All right. Would you watch Frank? I know Frank would. That's not a Frank's thing. Would your wife watch that?
I watch different kinds of shows.
Yes, she would like it.
I watch The Crown.
Oh, okay. So isn't that like a similar thing?
Also Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones had a lot of sex, which was good too.
Yeah, but it's literally like 9 hours for 10 seconds of it. I can't do it.
Okay, then Bridgerton.
All right.
Frank, will you commit to watching Bridgerton?
I'll give it a shot. What is it on?
HBO. No, Netflix.
And what is it about?
It's just about like an old British royal family.
Everybody's
a few
banging?
of them. No.
Oh.
Damn.
Would
I gotta go watch that episode again. What?
Would Frank's wife like it?
Yes, she would. I'm surprised she hasn't watched it already.
We never got into that. We would watch The Crown.
No, then you're gonna like, yeah, you have to. You have to.
Cool.
God, this I can't even.
This just came up in the group chat. Jersey Shore too. That was another good show.
Yeah, that was a good
Jersey
show.
Shore.
Yeah, Jersey Shore.
Ugh.
Get things riled up a little bit, I guess.
Yep.
Gross. See, I don't watch all those, like, I don't know. I guess
I just gave you
romance
6
porn.
to choose from.
I know, but I haven't.
And none of them
seen
involved homeless people, so give her credthem for that.
That's pretty good. I don't. That's a genre that, like, the romance genre. It's like, yeah, okay.
Sex
But
life
I'd
is
have
not.
to be really in the, like.
Sex
all
life
right,
is
I
not
gotta
romance.
commit to this. It's not. Well,
Neither is
Bridgerton
Dexter.
probably is, right?
What?
Well, yeah, I didn't think Dexter was all that sexy. No.
Yeah.
I just texted Frank's wife that she has to. I gave her because he'll never tell her.
No, that's true. I'm gonna forget as soon as we sign off here.
Yeah. So don't worry, Gene. I got
And you know what? Back in the day, too, Sex in the City, too. I'm not going to lie. Yeah. When we used to watch it in my room. Sorry, Mom. Sorry, Mom.
All right, I'm gonna fucking pass out. I can't
Go.
do this anymore.
Go treat yourself.
Go ahead. Go watch some Girls.
I'm gonna watch that show where they all fall asleep.
That's a good one.
That's
I'm
the one I
surprised your
want.
penis didn't go inside itself after watching Hannah. Go ahead. Instead of wanting to do it. Sorry, Anthony.
All right, listen. She doesn't have the traditionally best body on the planet, but there was, I don't know, something not that I'd say that she was like attractive or whatever, but there was something, I don't know. It wasn't her necessarily, but there was something about the collective of these girls who were just kind of like freewheeling it, and like, it was whatever it was, and I don't know.
Hey, they're not my type. Let's say.
Well, here's the thing.
I'm not gonna call. I apologize for calling them gross. How's that? I
that's
don't think they're gross.
perfect.
I said the sex between them was probably gross.
But
Between Kylo Ren and her.
even if you're gonna say,
Yeah.
there's a lot of him naked in that
See, I'm not
show, a lot. But even if you're gonna say she's disgusting, which is fine, even with that element in the show, there was still enough in that show to kind of like get it all going. Yeah, they're like doing drugs, and they're, I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's a turn on.
They're out there living
drugged
their
out.
lives.
Yeah, we definitely probably did it after that. After watching one of the shows.
Had to.
Yeah. Yeah.
That famous, I forget what that Brian Williams' daughter is, but whatever. When she gave that guy pink eye in that famous scene.
Oh yeah.
Remember?
I like that scene. You know what? We definitely had sex after that scene.
That was like one of the most talked about.
Oh, that was like not controversial, but yeah, that was a moment in history.
That was everywhere. That actor still has pink eye to this day.
Yeah.
That was 12 years
He
ago.
never getting that out.
That's how you get that. That's what happens. Or that's how you get the vid.
Frank's sister, this just in, Frank's sister-in-law confirming that Bridgerton is good and should be watched.
Cool.
That's confirmed. All right, you guys good?
Give it a shot. I'm good.
Feel
No,
better.
This is going to be like the paprika all over again. You're never going to.
No, I'll watch it. I'm going to go watch it right now.
Show
No, I'm
me
gonna watch
potato
it.
salad.
All right, we'll catch you guys.
Maybe we